Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today, man, I'll be talking about the Indiana Pacers. Moving on to the NBA Finals. Just clap it up for the Indiana Pacers real quick. I don't know if you saw this coming, because I definitely did not see the Indiana Pacers of all teams making the finals, you know? I had the Clevelands, I had the Cavs, I had this, I had that. My third contending team in the Eastern Conference, funny enough, was the New York Knicks, who just lost to the Pacers in 6 games. Right off the bat, though, we gotta start off about tonight's game. Tyrese Halliburton in that clutch, you know, at the end of the fourth quarter, hit multiple floaters, hit a layup, hit that deep three. Yeah, Hallie was in his bag, but don't forget Siakam. Siakam, especially in those first 3 quarters, man, Siakam, aka Spicy P, man, he was in his bag. He was in his Duffy. If you see me looking at my monitor right now, I'm actually looking to see who wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I don't know if it's gonna be Hallie or Siakam. Both of them have good odds of winning it. You know, Hallie had the moment in game 1. They wouldn't have one game on without him. And, you know, game 4, he had a stat sheet that nobody had. What, 32, 15, 12, couple steals as well. And then Siakam has 3 30-point games, including a 39-point performance and a 30-point game tonight. So either or could win ECF MVP. So I'm watching on here simultaneously as well while I'm talking to y'all as well. Yeah, a 125-108 dub for the Pacers tonight. You know, in the first half, look a little sluggish. I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? Y'all trying to go to the finals today or what? What's going on? You know, Nemar's missing his shots. Siakam's not doing anything. It's really just, you know, unfortunately, Miles Turner got kicked like in the midsection slash groin, aka Jules, and I'm just like, damn, man. But Thomas Bryant out of nowhere was in his bag. Bro, Thomas Bryant hit what, 3 threes today? Yeah, like back-to-back threes, man. Man, Thomas Bryant was in, mind you, Thomas Bryant got benched previously to this for Tony Bradley, who I think was technically active today, but he had like a sort of like a hamstring injury. I don't know if it was a strain, I don't know if it was this or that, but you could see him literally be a little like, you know, he wasn't 100%. So the fact that they had Thomas Bryant come off the bench and he got a block that led to a layup on the other end for Siakam, he had multiple threes. And he did this all in really, how many minutes did he play again? He played 13 very impactful minutes. It was a +7 of those minutes. And that probably felt like it should be even more of an impact. You get what I'm saying? But like, we really got to talk about Siakam, because Siakam, oh my God. Like I mentioned earlier, in the first couple of quarters, they really could not efficiently score. And I'm like, Halliburton, where are you? But Siakam took over. And the Pacers are in the finals. The Pacers are in the finals. Do you understand how insane this is? Oh my God, congrats to the Pacers fans out there. I mean, if there was a chance, I mean, last year the offense was even better last year. It's just the defense was not. The offense is slightly worse this year, but the defense is a lot better, you know? Because you have a full season of Siakam. You have Andrew Nemar, 6 steals today. He had multiple jump shots at the end of the game. His jump shots finally fell, you know? And then you get the jolts at points from Obi Toppin or TJ McConnell or guys out of the woodworks. Like, you know, some points it's Jarris Walker. Sometimes it's Matherin, who was really good in the last couple of games before this, in games 4 and 5. And it's like, it's absurd. It really, really is. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, what a game. What a game. Andrew Nemar today was special on Brunson. He ended up with like 19 points and like 18 shots, you know, not an incredibly efficient. Oh, I think I just see Pascal Siakam just won ECF MVP. Congrats to Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. I'm not gonna lie, I was having a conversation on my playback, you know, tapping in the boy on playback, you know. I'll be posting clips. I'll be in my bag on there. We were discussing who's gonna win ECF MVP. I'm like, you know, leading towards Siakam, but Hallie had that moment in game 1 and game 4. Maybe Hallie. But initially, I was like, Siakam, 3 30-point games. He was in his bag tonight to send him to the finals. Like, if either or of them won ECF MVP, I would not be surprised at all. Shout out to Spicy B, though. Shout out to Spicy B. You know, he had a really good series. You know, this is his second time in the finals. Obviously, famously, 2019 winning against the Golden State Warriors, and you can say outbeat Klay Thompson injury, and you know, Kevin Durant Achilles, Klay Thompson ACL, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, did they win the series? They did. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. Pacers are going to the finals. I really want to see how Pacers fans feel about this. I mean, this is absurd. You know, it's not even like they had a great first half. They just had a great second half. You know, overall from the game, they shoot 51.5% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the field. And, you know, it, 54% from 3, 54% from the fi didn't really click into the second half for them, you know? When it really mattered, they really did their thing, you know? McConnell hit a three, which when TJ McConnell's hitting threes, you're like, it's one of those. But yeah, Obi Toppin gave him a really good jolt. Naismith did a couple threes. He's dealing with an injury, but it feels like he's perfectly fine when he's shooting his threes. Halliburton 21 and 13, like, yeah. And then Nemar in the first half, he was relatively quiet. Offensively, he's really a hound. Defensively, he had 5 first half steals. And then he got it going in the second half. So shout out to him. Miles Turner hit a couple threes early on. And then he had that injury. But again, Thomas Bryant stepped up. And he got in his bag. So yeah, this is a really deep team to the point where guys like first round pick Johnny Furphy out of Kansas doesn't get minutes. You know, Jarris Walker out of Houston, first round pick last year, I want to say. Maybe, I think it was last year. Doesn't really get minutes. What he does play on the court, he's either hit or miss. He's either pretty good or just not really doing anything. So you got to get him out the game. Ben Shepherd has moments, you know, defensively. I didn't really like what I saw from him today. You know, his stance. He got beat off the dribble. He missed the three. Like, you know, it's Ben Shepherd at the end of the day. So it is what it is. But shout out to the Pacers. Officially going to the NBA Finals. I would be on cloud nine if a Pacers fan right now. You know, you're one of the top 15 players in the league in Tyrese Halliburton. You have really good depth. You have a coach that's been in the finals in 2011, beating, unfortunately, my Miami Heat in 2011, the big three Heat of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh in the first year of them being together. Unfortunately, I was channel surfing randomly one game, and I just saw the replay of that game. So when 2011 went on with the Heat, I wasn't a fan yet. So it really took me watching them lose and being drawn to Dwayne Wade for me to be a fan of the team. Shout out to Thomas Bryant. Shout out to Thomas Bryant. Also, I'm looking at my screen right now. Miles Turner is in his 10th year with the Pacers. How many trade rumors constantly do we see? Miles Turner to the Pacers, package him with Buddy Hield to the... Miles Turner to the Lakers, package him and Buddy Hield to the Lakers. Now, Miles Turner is in the finals. Miles Turner is an Eastern Conference champion, and he's competing for his first ever NBA Finals. Loyalty, baby. And that's not all in his hands because he could have been traded, but... Remember from back in the day, him and Sabonis, that 4 and 5, you know, they've had up and down years, but Miles Turner, man, I believe he is also in a contract year as well. So, there guys as well, like Aaron Nesmith, the guy who said they got traded for paper clips. Motherfucker, brother can't stay on the court now. Now, he did win 6 Man of the Year a couple years back with the Celtics, but motherfucker can't stay on the court. I mean, his brother's an objectively good player. Absolutely. He's just so damn injured, bro. Let me stop yapping, though. Pacers officially in the finals. Congrats to y'all. New York Knicks, I know I really rarely talked about y'all, but again, you know, 6-game series, you know, if you won tonight, that would have been cool. But game 5, that was a great win in MSG. Unfortunately, Knicks, game 7 gimmick is over. But yeah, so let's talk about in depth the overall series, a couple things I had written down as well. And yeah, so overall, we'll start with the Pacers. Obviously, they won the series. Obviously, game 1 was absurd. Nesmith hit 6 fourth-quarter threes, one of the greatest comebacks I've seen in my entire life. They were down by like close to 15 points with like 3 minutes and maybe a little bit less or more to go. Nesmith hit 6 threes, you know, some catch and shoot wide open, some contested, some deep threes. Just was in his bag. And then Hallie, you know, that game-time midi right after Nesmith hit all those shots. He had a chance to get a jump shot or a floater or a midi initially, but he ended up stepping back, going to the 3. Unfortunately, Kevin Durant, as his foot is on the line, it's a long 2, but he gets a generational bounce, a la, just talked about it, 2019, Kawhi Leonard against the 76ers. Funny enough, Siakam was on that team, and then funny enough, Siakam was on that team, and Hallie hits it for him, like, oh, Siakam, the man that you are. Like, genuinely absurd. But yeah, they hit that, and then they went into OT, and then Hallie did the choke for Reggie Miller, and people were like, "Oh, Reggie Miller did that choke back in the day, and then the Pacers lost, and the Knicks won the series." Well, did it happen this game? No. So it is what it is. Did it happen this series? Absolutely not. A lot of people were crying about Reggie Miller being on the call. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, last year at TNT, officially going to NBC. Yeah. Yeah, really like what I saw. You know, that 5-point swing from Nesmith, not from Nesmith, from Nembhard in that overtime in game 1. That's really good. He had a corner 3, then got a layup. You know, it was looking bad initially in overtime for the Pacers in game 1. I'm like, oh, don't let that become a meme, Hal. And even if they win that game, they still lose the series. That will be a meme for eternity. You feel what I'm saying? Even that, Reggie Miller, I'm watching him right now with Steve Van Gundy and Kevin Harlan, and I forgot what her name on the right, all the way in the far right with the pink jacket. It feels like, but my fault. Yeah. Obi Toppin had a huge putback in game 1 as well. Siakam had a phenomenal game. Halliburton, unfortunately, did have an off game. I want to say, yeah, Siakam had a really good game in that game too. Halliburton did have an off game, but he did have a double-double with an off game. That's how talented Tyrese Halliburton is. And he got a really good Joe in that game 2 as well from TJ McConnell. Again, game 3 as well, you got a good McConnell game. Just an off game overall from the team. The Knicks ended up winning that game. It just really wasn't a good game overall. It wasn't three-point shooting. It wasn't the offense. It wasn't there. It just wasn't there. For overall team-wise, it's an off game. They were 5 of 25 from 3 in that game. And yeah, and then that game 4, man, Hallie legacy game. What do you have? 32, 15 or 16, 12 rebounds, a couple steals. Like, that was a legacy game right there. You got a really good Joe from Benedict Mathurin as well as a good Joe from Benedict Mathurin as well in that next game as well. In that game 5, I believe so, off the top of my head. And I have a couple things written down, but I also have a couple things that just come to my brain as I talk. So yeah, it was cool though. And then game 4, you have the Obi Toppin dagger 3. I remember like it was yesterday. It was a left wing 3, wide open. Ball gets past to him, takes the shot, dagger in game 4 in Gainbridge Field House. And overall, Siakam had not phenomenal, but he had a really, really damn good game in that game 4, so if I remember correctly. Now for game 5, the Knicks ended up winning that game. Hallie, he was off in that game 5. Game 6, though, Siakam. Tonight, he was in his bag. Neesmith did multiple threes. Thomas Bryant did multiple threes. Nembhard did multiple threes. McConnell hit a 3. Nembhard was phenomenal defensively, holding Brunson to less than 20 points. Yeah, that's tough. That is cold. And then Hallie in the clutch, spamming the floaters. He hit that long 3, but he also spammed the floaters. He had like 2 floaters, hit a layup, then he hit that long 3. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, he was in his bag. First quarter, he's playmaking masterclass. Fourth quarter, he got into the scoring bag. You feel what I'm saying? Being out. Now on to the New York Knicks. I see right now, last game of TNT. Showing the throwbacks on my screen right now. Man, last game of TNT. That's tough. I'm gonna see past this though. The Knicks feel like they had a good Mitchell Robinson, Joe, and McHale game in game 1, as well as a good game from Cat. OG did miss the huge free throw though, which ended up leading to the Halliburton game time midi though, but people don't talk about that. I don't know why. Brunson and Cat, they also had misses in the clutch in game 1 as well, which is not ideal. Game 2 though, you had a really good game from I'm not sure Siakam. I don't know. I've written that down, but Brunson, he had airballed 2 threes in the clutch. He had missed 2 threes in the clutch. He had airball 1 and then just missed the second one. It just wasn't pretty for Brunson in the clutch for a majority of the series, unfortunately, for the New York Knicks. And they eventually started Mitchell Robinson in game 3. I've been literally banging the table and saying this is the Pistons series. Start Mitchell Robinson at center and keep Cat at power forward. Cat is a power forward. He's a center by trade because before the Gobert trade, he was a center, okay? He's not a good defender. They moved him to power forward where he belongs. He became a better defender as a power forward. And then the Knicks, obviously Mitchell Robinson injury, was out for majority of the season. They don't really have a backup center with respect to Princess Achua. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, he's a power forward, He is a power forward. And they finally moved him to power forward. And Mitchell Robinson was phenomenal on both ends, on the glass, putbacks, alley-oops. Mitchell Robinson is a damn good ball player. That's why Knicks fans talk so highly of him, because he's a damn good ball player. They finally started hitting bench shots hard, which really, he should be just rebounding the basketball and pushing the pace. Outside of that, I don't really want him shooting threes. I don't want him doing this. I don't want him doing that. Just defend, rebound, and push the pace on offense, It is what it is. Shout out to Josh Hart. I'm not a hater of him. It's just, I just think Mitchell Robinson is the better fit, in my opinion. And now in that game 3, you had Cat and Brunson in foul trouble. Did anything really for McHale, and Cat had a legacy fourth quarter in game 3, which ended up leading to them winning the game. He had 20 plus points in that fourth quarter after having 2. Was it this game that he had 2 fouls early in the game in the first quarter? He had to come out. I don't know why Cat gets these ticky-tacky fouls, and I don't know. It's weird, especially in the playoffs. I don't get it, Cat. Now, you did get a quiet 31 points from Brunson. Cat was really good after early fouls, but 2 fouls in the first. OG couldn't buy a 3. Then McHale started hitting threes, but then he missed 3 straight threes that I want to say off the top of my head were corner threes in a late fourth. All of that was in the game 4. And then in game 5, Brunson missed multiple shots in the clutch, especially multiple threes. You just expect more of him, as a clutch player of the year. He's supposed to really put this team on his back. And then in that game 4 into game 5, DeLon Wright and Shamet answered the lineup. And in that game 5, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, they were really good. Shamet gave them a good jolt. I want to mention Mitchell Robinson on both ends of the basketball in particular. And then the Knicks, you could say they just wanted it more. It's game 5 MSG season on the line, backs against the wall. You got to show up and show out, especially in front of the home crowd. You got to show up and show out. They just wanted more of the season on the line. And in game 5, it's just Brunson just didn't give them what they fully needed. OG gave him a good game. Super really couldn't buy a 3. Cat hadn't technically off game. He didn't shoot efficiently, but he got to the cup. He did miss 4 free throws. Brunson couldn't buy a 3, but Shamet ended up cooking. But at that point, it was garbage time. The game was over, so they didn't really give them what they fully needed. And Bridges, he had a solid game. It's Mikal Bridges. We traded 5 first back, you expect him to average around 16 to 20 points a game. It's all right. Deuce McBride gave him not a damn thing tonight. It's just tough, but our legend Tyler Cole got in the game. So at the end of the day, I won. Nowhere close to the next fan. I'm a Miami Heat IR fan, but Tyler Cole is my dog from RI. Go Roddy, baby. Go Friars, baby. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. But yeah, Knicks, where do y'all go from here? Cat's making 60M. You just traded for him, for DiVincenzo, and Randall, who's now a free agent, and DiVincenzo, who came off a down season this year, but towards the end of the playoff run, he kind of heated up a little bit. Yeah, Knicks, where do y'all go from here? Pacers, welcome to the NBA Finals against the OKC Thunder. My prediction for that, right off the bat, I'm going to end it off right here. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Initially, I was like Thunder in 6. But damn, I don't know if I can count the Pacers, man. I'm just saying, I don't have a prediction off the top of my head. If I did, though, I'm going to just throw one out. If it's right, cool. If it's not, cool. Actually, that's cap. I'm out. I can't, man. I don't have a prediction. I'm sorry, big bro. I'm sorry. But yeah, but other than that, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, make sure to follow me on. I'm gonna add this new Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, my Instagram, and my playback, and all of my channels are in the description box down below. Go check all that out. I'm gonna end up getting a banner sometime soon, which has all my social media. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. I'm gonna put it on this. I'm gonna put it on my playback. I'm gonna put it on my Twitter. I'm gonna put it all there, so it's all there. But all my social media, all my channels will always be in the description box down below. But other than that, it's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.